So, hello everyone. I'm Swam Siddharth, your host for the day. Welcome to the day 5 of this Web Game Development Bootcamp. Today we are having a session on JavaScript Advanced. Khushi would be here with us on teaching on this topic. So, without wasting any further time, I would like to invite Khushi to take over the stage and then start with the session. Khushi, handing over to you.
Thank you. Hello everyone. I hope you all are well and also started building challenging project. So till now we have learned about the basic JS, and from today we are going to stare up with some advanced concept. So I'm going to share my screen.
In the meanwhile, I would like to say that if anyone have any doubt in midway the session, because JavaScript Advanced is a little bit tough, so you can just raise your hand and then after I call you, you can unmute and ask.
So hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss the advanced part of the JS. First we are going to see the ES6 features. Then we are going to see what actually asynchronous and synchronous mean, and we will see the difference between these two. After that we are going to see callback, then promises, and then the easier way to write the promise is async and await. And after that we have a quiz on advanced JS. So starting with the ES6 features. So what is mainly, what do you mean by ES6? Basically, it is the version 6, which is called implemented after the 2015, and it is the important part in the JS. Before ES6, there are many limitations that we cannot do. After the ES6 features, JavaScript is more advanced. So we are going to see what all functions are included after the 2015 version. ES6, also known as ECMAScript 2015, E for ECMA and S stands for the script. So this is the version 6 which is introduced after 2015. So first we are going to see the template literals. After that, array function. Before array function, we are going to see functions in detail. After that, let and const, and also the difference between let and where. After that, the object and array destructuring, and array and objects in detail. After that, rest and spread operator. So I'm going to share my VS Code screen. So this is the basic HTML. I have not included any advanced HTML in this, only a simple heading and the script tag, and I have added my included the JS file as well, and this is the JS file, and I have opened in the browser also. So you can see only the H1 is showing, nothing JavaScript, nothing HTML more than the H1. So first we are going to see the template literals. So basically you have to write a string on the in using the JavaScript. So basically what you will do, so I am initializing a name and the age variables. So name I initialize as the const name is equals to Khushi and age equals to 21. So basically what you will do to write this as a string on the web page. So basically you will write hello, or in simple I am telling hello my name is, and you will specify that variable in which your value is stored, and similarly you will, this whole sentence is concatenated by the comma. So before ES6, the user is using the comma to concat the strings. So this is the features before ES6. So we will see what will the output of this. So you can see that statement is printing on the web page. Why web page, not on the console? Because I have read the document.write. So it is showing that the hello my name is, the variable value is inputted and the age value is inputted. Another method of in before ES6 is plus sign, that is also used to concat the strings. So if I uncomment this also, so you will see the same output of both the line, that is the hello my name is Khushi, and if I add, okay, so I will add the BR tag, so it will move to the next. Now you can see both the statement gives the same output. Now what after ES6 is represented, that you don't have to specify these double strings and plus sign or comma operator, nothing. You have to simply use the backticks and use the dollar symbol and write the variable name. So this is the after ES6. You have to use the backticks, that is over the tab you will see a slash comma type that is called the backtick, and you have to specify the whole string in the backtick, where you have to write the dynamic value. Just specify the dollar and the curly bracket, and inside the curly bracket write the variable name. So this is how hello my name is, and this is the dynamic value. Name is the dynamic because I want to change it, and is it the dynamic value, so it is comes inside the curly bracket, and before the curly bracket a dollar sign will come. This is how the template literals works after the ES6. So you can see the same output will be given, but it is more easier than the comma and the plus operator. Then you have to specify after, before each comma, that the half string in the one code, then another string in another code, then another string in another code. You have to specify again and again the same thing, but using the ES6 you have to specify only one backtick, and you can use dollar sign and the curly bracket. Inside the curly bracket you can write the dynamic value. This is how the template literal works. Someone has any doubt in this template literal? Okay, so after the template literals, we have the arrow function. So before moving to the arrow function, we will see what actually normal function works and it means, and how function works. So I'm going to comment out this. So basically, functions are used for the purpose which a particular task has to be performed again and again. We have to perform a task, like we have to calculate the addition of two numbers. Maybe this whole scenario comes in your code 1,000 times, so you will not write the sum of two numbers 1,000 times. You will make a function, and you will call that function whenever you need to add two numbers. So similarly, this is the working of the functions. So in JavaScript, you have to specify the function keyword before writing the function. So what is the syntax of writing a function? You have to specify the function keyword, that is the function. Then you have to specify the function name. I have specified the function name as sum, and these a and b are called the arguments or the parameters which you will pass while calling. This is called the definition, where you have defined what actually that function will do. So here I have tried that the document dot write whatever the arguments, that is a and b, what will be the value, just add those value and print the value on the web page. And this is the phase where I am calling my function and putting two values. Why two? Because a and b I have given two, so 50 will come to the a, and b will having the 25. So the output will be 75. So on the web page we will see the 75. So this is how the normal function work. Now if I want to, if this value should be stored in some variable after returning from the function, so we can use the return keyword. So here is the another code for the return. Here in this previous code, what I have done, just calling the function and I'm printing that value. But in this, I am calling that function and I want to store the value. So I'm using the return keyword, and it will return the value from that function. Now x will store, first this will call, and whatever the value it will return and store that in the x. Now if I write document dot write the variable x, it will print the 75. Then what is the difference between the previous and this one? In previous one, we have not specified the return keyword. We have just call, and whatever inside the function will work. But in this, we have called the function and function in returning a value. So we have to store this value, so we have declared a variable. So this is how the function and the return keyword works. Now coming to the another concept that is called the function expression. Whenever we are, this is here we have called.
Kushi,
Yes.
I guess we have some doubts from Manjeet and Simon. Just take them. Manjeet, Simon, you can unmute yourself.
Ma'am, could you repeat the return part, please, again? Ma'am,
Can you repeat the question?
the return part, can you explain again?
Okay. And second doubt.
Is function overloading is possible in JavaScript?
Okay, overloading. That is the concept of the class. Actually, I'm not taking the object oriented because that is also a detailed concept. I have taken only a few advanced concept. In this session, we are not going to use the oops. That will come under the oops part.
Yes, ma'am. Is it possible or not?
No. Okay, next we have the the return keyword. About the return keyword, here I'm calling the sum function with the values 50 and 25. This 50 and 25 will go to here, and 50 will be here and 25 will be in the B, and it will first calculate the value, that is a plus b, 50 plus 25, 75, and it will return from this function. Now our function will go to here, and in place of this 75 will be there. So this is how the return keyword works in the function. I hope now it is clear.
Okay, ma'am, got it.
Okay. Next, we have the function expression. We have seen here, we are calling the function. Now, if I want to store the whole function in a variable, then that situation is called the function expression. We have seen that here, this is the function calling, this is the function definition. In the previous one, we are not storing the function definition in any variable, but we are storing the value that is returning from that function. Here I am just using the variable sum, and I am going to store this function definition in that sum variable. So now you have seen the difference here is this: after the function keyword we have specified a name, but in this there is no name. So if you want to write an anonymous function which has no function name, you can use the function expression. So here how you will call, because here after the whatever the function name, you will write the function name and you will call it. Now whatever the value variable in which the function definition is stored, you will call that variable name. So here I am storing it in the sum, and I will get the two values, that 25 and 75. It will return the output. This is the syntax of the function expression. So it will return the 100 on the web page. So this is the function expression, and this is the normal function. I hope there is no difference. There is no doubt between these two, because there is a bit confusing these two concepts. This is whole concept before the ES6. Now we are going to see what actually changed after the ES6. So after ES6, we can easily write the function expressions. Like here we can include just remove this function keyword from here and just include the arrow. This will named as the arrow functions. So we can see here. So we can see that function keyword is removed and arrow is specified. This function is called the arrow function. In this, we don't have to write the return keyword or the function keyword. We can simply write the arrow. This is called the arrow function, because we are this is the function and this is the parameter which are passed, and this is the arrow and this is the block of that function. This will also print the same value, but here this is the syntax of before ES6. This is the syntax of after ES6. After ES6, arrow function is introduced. So this is all about the functions and the function expression and the arrow functions. So if someone has any doubt in this function concept, can ask. Okay, so I'm moving. After that, we have seen in the first day of JS, that is where, let, and const. So before ES6, we have only the where. Either we have to declare a constant variable or a constant variable or a normal variable. We have to use the where keyword only. But after ES6, we get two more variables keyword, that is let and a const. Const has a simple meaning. If you have to declare a variable and you want that value of that variable to not change throughout the program, so you can specify that as the const x is equals to 67. This value will not change throughout the program. If you will do the change in this value, you will see an error, that is assignment to a constant variable. So you will never change this value. It is assigned as the const. So this is the one variable which is introduced after ES6. Another is the let. So where and let will work similar when you will write a simple console.log or document.write. Now we are going to see some basic difference between these two. So first, we will see simple calling x after the definition. We have defined the x is equals to 5. So you will see the x value will be the 5. After another variable is defined with the value of y. That is let, we have defined with the let. Now we will see that if we did not declare any variable and we are printing the value of that variable, like I am going to print the value of z. So can someone tell me what will the output of this z? Because I have not defined this z previously, only x and y are defined. So whether 0 will be there or any random value will come.
Garbage value.
I have not defined declared the z.
Undefined.
But I'm,
Undefined.
can you repeat please?
Undefined, ma'am.
Yes, undefined. Because in before ES6, if you don't define any variable and you will print that value, it will print as undefined. But you can see the output also. So, okay, 1 minute. So okay, I have not here the z is equals to after the document dot write, I have write the z is equals to 2. So I have writing the definition before I have printing the value before the definition. So whenever the situation comes, the value will value of the z will be undefined until and unless the value of the z will be declared. So after I declared after the z value printing on the web page. So this will return the undefined. But if I write like let after the document dot write, this will give me the reference error because a is not declared. So the difference between the where and let here is that if I printing the value of any variable and after, that variable is defined in throughout the page, but the variable is defined with the where, the value will be undefined. But if the value is defined with the let, this will cause throw an reference error, that is a is not defined. This is the first basic difference between where and let.
But only we are writing document dot write z commas session without declaring where z. Then why is it not showing an error?
It is showing an error, you can see that that is not defined. I'm saying that if the definition is defined, but after first I'm printing the value and after printing the value I am defining, then the with case of where it will show undefined, but with case of let it will show a reference error, that is variable is not defined. The case is
Ma'am,
that the definition is present in the program.
excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, would you like to explain this use of that backslash in here?
Actually, first I have tried the full string type of statement. So if you want to, this is the escape character. If you want to throw if you want to throw a line to the next line, then you use the escape character. That is for the new line.
But maybe in the output on that page, there is the output is not on another line, is it?
Yes, it is not working. So we have to use for the BR. We can
Yeah.
use instead of that.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Now it will come after new line. So you can see the 5 and 10 and Z is throwing the error because the definition is not present.
Session is not working.
Yes मैम सेम डाउट मैम बैकस्लैश एन क्यों नहीं वर्क कर रहा मैम
I will see why it is not working. Then I will give you error at the last.
ऐसा तो नहीं मैम कि वो कॉमा वेरिएबल के बाद वाला ना कैन बी, और या फिर अगर जो फ्रंट स्लैश है वो हटा दे, लाइक बीआर का जो सिंटेक्स होता है HTML5 का, अगर बीआर वैल्यू यूज करें बिना फ्रंट स्लैश के.
You want to see that if I remove the comma?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that because I don't know. That's why I'm just assumption. Yeah, nothing else. I'm just assuming.
Okay, just give me 1 minute. You want to say like this now? I remove the comma operator and specify the escape character in between the string. I will see this and I will give you answer at the last.
ओके मैम
Okay, if someone has any doubt in this where and let, the first difference.
There is a request from my side. If there is any doubt, please first raise your hand, then speak, so that Khushi should be prepared for the doubt. She will be presenting, and in the midway, you will interrupt. That will break her flow. So, if you have any doubt, please raise your hand, and after that.
Okay, so second difference is that the where variables can be redeclared as well as the updated. But with the let variable, this is actually opposite. First, we will see with the case of where variables. That is, we are defining a function with the name text, and I have declared a variable inside the text function. That is the a is equals to a is equals to 10. So I am printing the value of a that will give the 10. Now I am again redeclaring it and again changing the value. I have redeclared as well as update the value of a to the 20. So it will update it. It will not throw any error. But if you have seen any programming language, you cannot redeclare a variable once it is declared. So this is opposite with the where case. You can redeclare as well or you can update as well. But in the case of let, it will throw an error if we redeclare it. Let's see with the let also. So this is the case of the let. First, it will print the value of 10 is equals to 10. Now we will see if I redeclare a with the value, updated value also. So it will throw an error that is identifier a has already been declared. So let variables cannot be redeclared again. So if I want to update the value, we can update it. A is equals to 20. This is the second difference between the where and the let variables, that where variables can be redeclared, but let variables cannot be redeclared. But both the variables can be updated. I hope the second difference is also clear. Yes, Hemant, you have any doubt?
Even if we define and again the same value as a is 10, will it show an error?
Which case, where or let?
Both, man.
With the case of where, if I redeclaring it, it will not throw any error. But if we redeclare variable with the using let, it will throw an error. I can show again. You can see here.
Yes, ma'am, that's fine. But again, redeclaring with same value, like again with a is 10.
We need to say let a is equals to 10 or a is equals to 10. You want to redeclare it or you want to update? You want to redeclare as well as update.
Update again with same 10.
This one you want to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can see the same error because a has already been declared. The problem here is you can update the value. You can update if I change the a is equals to 10. It will not throw any error. But you will redeclare it. It will throw an error. It will if you redeclare it with any value, it will throw an error. With the case of let. I hope you ask a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other doubt? Okay. So we are going to see another difference. So I am writing a loop and I'm printing the values from 1 to 5. First I'm using the where variables. Can someone write the answer in the chat box? What will be the output of this? That is the for, and I have used the where variables and initialize the I is equals to 1, and the loop will go until the I is less than or equals to 5, and I will be incremented by 1 only, and I am printing the value of I. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. If I write the document.write after the loop, what will the value of I? Okay, 6. Let's check if 6 is right or not. Yes, 6 is the right answer with the case of where. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It meant through this example, we can see that the variables which are declared with the where work at the global scope. When it's declared, it is in the global scope. And if I'm going out of the condition, that is, if I is equals to 6, the condition will be failed and I will be out of the loop. Now here I will be redeclared. It is already declared in the global scope, so the I value is the 6. But if I use the let, can someone now give the output? What will the output of the document dot write I after the loop? Yes, Monica is right. It will throw an error. Yes, it will throw an error. So it is saying that the reference error that I is not defined. So through this example, we can see that the variables which are declared with the where work as the global scope. Once it is declared, it means it is in the scope and you can use that value throughout the program. So I hope the third difference is also cleared. If someone has doubt in this where versus let, can ask.
Anyone have any sort of doubt, please drop them in the chat box or unmute yourself.
Okay, so I'm going with the array part. So first we are going to see the array and object. Then we are going to see the ES6 feature, that is the dispatching part. So actually why we are using the array. So first I will give you a basic example that if I, in the first example, I have used the const name is equals to Kushi. So if I want to store multiple student name in the same variable, how we will do? Because we cannot do with if I want to write a 10 student name. So what we will do that name 1 is equals to Kushi, name 2 is someone else, name 3, name 4. Like this we will declare 10 variables with different student names if we don't have the array part. But after the array, we can store the 10 student names in a single variable. So this is the use case of the array. If we want to store a multiple value in a single variable, we can use the array part. So for declaring an array, you can see the same syntax if you have learned the Python. This is called a list in Python, and square bracket is used to declare the list. So this is same with the this is same in the JS as well. This is called the literal method. In this literal method, we are using the square bracket and we are writing up a value. So I have declared the fruits and I am going to write all the fruit values inside a single variable name. This is how we can declare an array. There's another method to declare an array, that is using the array constructor. And here the array constructor means array is already defined object. So we can use that array and we can pass the values. Array is already defined as a class. So we can use that array by passing all the values through the as a parameter. So when we are using the constructor part, we have to use that as an object, and for object we have to specify the new. So here we are writing a new array with the values orange, apple, and mango. Both the fruits will have the same values. Either we can use the array constructor or we can use the literal method. These are the two methods which we are commonly used to make a new array. So we are going with the first one, and now I have to access the value. What can we do? We can go through a loop and we will initialize what is the size of that. So we can find the size by a method called the fruits.length. This will give the length of the array. It has 3. So size will be 3, and I am starting the loop from I is equals to 0. So it will go to 0, 1, and 2. So both the all the 3 values will be printed on the web page. This is how we can access the value. Okay. So this is how we can access the value of the array. We have in the array case we have used the indexing part. This first I is equals to 0 means this array starts with the 0 index. This first value will be considered as the 0. Second value considered as the 1 index. Third value is considered as the second index. So in the array, the index part is going on. If I want to push any value in this array, orange, apple, and mango, after that I want to add some more values, we can use the push method of the array. This is one of the method, push, by which we can push something into our array. So I have pushed one more value that is with the banana. Now our array will be having 4 values. So I will comment out this one. Now you will see our new array will have 4 values. By using the push method, we have push of 1 value. Similarly, if you want to delete some values, so this pop method will use. This pop method will only remove the values from the last of the array. So fruits.pop, it will remove the banana and it will show the same, that is orange, apple, and the mango that we have the previous array. It will always remove the element from the last. Next, we have the map method. Map and the filter method are the most commonly used method of the arrays. So what actually the map method is? It is a whenever we will use the map method, it will return a new array, which is all from the existing array, and the function actually map is a method, and whatever the method is going to do, it will apply on each element of that array. So if this map function is there and we have an array for four values 11, 12, 13 and 14. The function will work for 11, then it will work for 12, then it will work for 13, then it will work for 14. So the map method will go from one value to another. So if in this example I have a array of numbers 11, 12, 13, 14, and I am going to create a map method always return a new array. So I'm storing that new array with the name of new array variables, and I'm iterating a method map through all the values, that is number dot map. Here the x, this is the arrow function we have already learned previous. This is the arrow function, we have seen that arrow. This is the argument which is passing, and the argument, whatever the value, it will be multiplied by the 2. So first the map method will go through the 11. So first x will be 11. 11 into 2, that will be the 22. After that, it will go to the next value, that is 12. Here we are not incrementing, but map method will go from first value to the last value of the array. Next, it will go to the 12. 12 into 2, it will be 24. Similarly, it will go to the 13. Next, 14. So it will each value is multiplied by the 2, and it will return a new array. So you can see that 24, 25, and 22, 24, 26 and 28, because I have specified 11, 12, 13, 14. So each value is multiplied by the 2, and it is returning a new array. This is the function of the map method. Similarly, we have another function that is called the filter method, as the method name is filter. So it will filtering some part of the array. What the filter method will do, filter method also take a single element and it will apply a condition. Here in the filter method, we are writing a condition. If the condition is true, that element will be pushed into a new array. So here the array we have 11, 12, 13, 14, and we are going to each value. First we will go to 11 modulus 2. In the first day of class, I use the arithmetic operator, that is modulus. It will give the remainder. So 11 modulus 2. So it will not give the remainder is equals to 0. So the condition is false. This 11 will not push into the array, new array. So 12, it will move to the next value, that is 12. 12 modulus 2, it will give the remainder 0. So this value will be pushed into the array. So our array will contain only the 12 and 14, because it is filtering out. We can say that the even numbers we are getting the even numbers. So if wherever you want to apply a condition on each value of the array, so you can use the filter method. So these are the two methods which you will use mostly in your JavaScript programming, the map method and the filter method. After that comes the ES6 part. After ES6, we have something called destructuring of an array. So first, what we will do, if I want to access the first value, what will I do? I will make a variable const first value is equals to number I. I means 0. I can write like this. If I comment out this, and if I write x1 is equals to numbers, I have to access the first value. What will I write? Index number. Index starts from 0. So 0. X1 will be the 0. So if I write document.write x1, so it will give the number. Okay, I have not commented on the previous one. Okay, so 11. So this is how we will access each value. But what if this array is of 1000 value? You will not declare 1000 values variables, and you will store by indexing. So what EX6 is doing, it will destructuring the values like this. If we have 4 values, we have declared the 4 variables inside an array, because it is an array. So we are destructuring as an array, and we have defined the array name. So the first value will be declared, will be reached into x1, second will be into x2, third in the x3, 14 is in the x4. This is how we can destructuring the array values. So if I print the x1, then it will be the 11. If I print the x4, it will be the last value. So this is how the destructuring of the array works. So if someone has any doubt in the map filter or this, you can play with this. You can see if I write one less, means 4 values in the array, and I am only writing 3. And if I want to the x3, what will the value of x3? What you will think? X3 will be the 14 or 13. Yes, it will be 13, because it will first value will be go here, second here, 13 here. If It is not like this. If I write here x4, so the 14th value will be coming to the x4. This is the second variable, so second value will come into the second variable. Don't be confused with the x2, x3, not like this. And if I write one extra variable like x4 and x5, in the actual array, we have only the 4 values, and in the 5, we have the another value. So you can see the x4, okay, x2, I change to x2. So now you can see the undefined. So this is how the destructuring of an array works. You can write a simple code. You can see what actually destructuring means, how it works. You will find the this more interesting when you practice your own. Okay, next we have.
I guess, Aman, it is for you only. For me, it is running fine. So I will suggest you to refresh your window for a while.
After that, we have the same similar concept that is called the
Can we
object.
update the values of, like, can we update the 0th index again?
We want to update like this: x1 is equals to. You meant to say this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we can update this. Okay, I have defined as the const, so I have to remove const to the let. You can see 11 plus 3 is equals to 14. You have to change the variable name. I have previously I have defined with the const, so it is throwing an error that is const assignment to constant variable. Fine.
But we are inputting the constant array numbers into the let
It is
array.
yes, it is making a new array. Now your array is this one. You have no meaning of this array now. You will access this x1. You have already take the x1 value from 11 from the previous array, that is 11, in this x1. Now you have the meaning of x1.
Okay, ma'am.
Now we are going to see the someone have any doubt related to array? Okay, so we are going to see another similar concept, that is the object. So if I say that if I want to store the 10 student names in a single variable, you are going to use array. But if I want that each value, that is here I am storing the if say student is storing the student names, but I want with the name, I also want to see the roll number. So that a single value is defining two values. I mean to say, if I write that first here I am storing the with name. This is the array part. Now I want the first index of the array store the student name as well as the student roll number. You cannot do this with the array, but you can do with the object very easily. Like if this part will be replaced with the object. Object are declared with the curly bracket like this, and you can specify key value pair like I want name. Okay, I change this. If I this are also having a two method using literals and using constructor. So first we are going to see the using literal. So I have said that I'm simply first I'm saying what is object. Then you can try with the array of object. This is another thing that I have explained. Simple example, that is student name and age. That is the array of object. So object, basically object is declared with the curly bracket. You can see this is from here to here. This is the object. The name of the object is person, and inside the object the values are stored in the form of key value. This key is the name is the key, and value is the khushi. Value is the string, so I use the string part. And if you want to store the number, you can store the number as well. In this object you can define the properties. This is called the properties. You know, yesterday I told in the minor project session that math is an object and it has some properties as well as method. I have shown the one property, that is pi, and method like random, floor, sine, cosine. These are the method. So an object can have the properties as well as the method. These two are the properties, and this is the method. Display info. You can see how you can identify which one is the method or which one is the property. Method is used with the small brackets. You can change it to the arrow function as well. This is not an arrow function. This is before the ES6 part. You can change it to the arrow function as well. So this person object has the one property name, one property location. Second is the method, that is the display info. So if I want to access the name of that person, I will do? I can write the person.name. I can write this. It will also print the value of name, name of the person. And if I write using the square bracket, we can check that. Okay, so using the square bracket, it is not working. We have to specify the dot in case of object, and in case of array, you have to specify the square bracket. And if you want to call this function, you can easily call it with the object and the object name, because I don't have to write anything, because inside the function already I am printing the value. So I can call the person.displayInfo. It will write as a template literals. I have used the template literals in here. First, it will print the person.name, value of name, and the location value. So first one is the person name. I am commenting this. You can see, you call the method from the object also. So this is using the literals. Similarly, you can use with the constructor part as well. In the constructor of array, we have used the new array. Here we are using the object class, so we have to use the new object. So same part is there, new object, the person is defined. Now I have to specify the properties. So how we are accessing the properties, dot name, we will specify the properties similarly, person.name, the value, person.location, and person.method. This is display info, the same method. In this, we are everything is in the curly bracket. Here, this curly bracket indicate that this is an object. Here we are writing new object, so person is an object now. So you can add values, add the properties as well as the methods. So this is the second method of declaring an object using the constructor. So you can see the same output here as well. It is showing me array that is already declared. So you can see the same output. In the array part, we have learned about the array destructuring. Now we are going to see the object destructuring. So if you have
the again definition using constructor.
Yeah, can you repeat the question?
Could you repeat the second method?
Okay, so before learning the second method, you have to have the idea of oops part. So in the JS also there is an oops part. Their class is there. We are declaring the class, then we declare use that class. We have to declare the object. So whenever we are initializing the object, a constructor is called. Constructor is similar to the method, but it has the name, similar name to the class name. So if you are going to use the using constructor method, so I will advise you to first learn about the oops in the JS. It is also a big concept about the JS. Everything will be included. All the four pillars, inheritance, abstraction, data encapsulation, everything, data hiding. So if you want to know the actual meaning of constructor, so first you will learn about the class. Class is similar to the method, but in class also we have to define our own properties, method. To use that class, we have to define an object. And whenever we are initializing an object, a constructor is called. Constructor is similar to the method, similar to the method, but it has a similar name as the class. Object is already, it is a class. It is already defined in the JS. So we are directly using this. Here we are just like the using as an object, new object. Don't be confused with this object. This object you will use in the oops part. This is actually a class name object. I think you have seen in the, if you have learned about C++, the oops part, this object actually a class, not an object of this object of oops. If you are using constructor method, first you can go through the classes oops in JS part. Okay, Srimant.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next, we have the object destructuring. If I have the function, if I have the object like this person and it has the first name and the last name. it is a small example, but you consider like it has the 100 properties, not only 2 properties. So what you will do, how we will access the first value, you will write the let first name is equals to person.first name. The first name value is the Kushi, so it will come in the first name, this first name. I will change this some another name so you will not confuse. So if I access the person.first name, the value of Khushi will be stored in the F1 and last name will be stored in the L1. This is how you will destructure the object before ES6. Don't consider only 2 properties, consider it as 1000 properties. So here I am printing the value. You will see the value Khushi and the Pruvar. Okay, it is already declared. I have not comment out. Okay, I have changed this. So I have to write the F1 and L1. Okay, now you will get see the answer, Khushi and the Pruvar. So this is how you are going to destructure the object before ES6. Now after ES6, similar to the array, you are specifying the square bracket and the variable name. In this, we have to specify the curly bracket because curly bracket indicates an object. So you can see after ES6 concept, it is similar to array, but in array you are using the square bracket because square bracket indicates an array and curly bracket indicates an object. So this is after the ES6 syntax, you will see the same output. So this is how the object and the array destruction works. Now we are going to see the spread operator. As the name is indicate that it is spread, it will spread something. So this operator will work with the I'm going to work with the object that is the array part. First I have declared an array that is A1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now there will be a scenario that you have to use the same array in another array. So what you will do, you can copy that array. But there is an ES6 method that is called the spread. You can use the 3 dot before that array name. This is the A1, so I have used the A1 and 3 dot. This will spread all the values 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, and after continuing, new value will be added 5, 6, 7. So you can see the A2 will be there. So this is the new array. So this is how we don't write 1, 2, 3, 4 again because it is already in the A1, so we can use that A1 as well. So if I write simply A1, can someone tell me the answer of this? If I'm not using the 3 dots before the A1. Okay, I will show you the answer. You can see the same answer is there, but the 3 dot is actually indicating the ES6 feature, that is the spread operator. That's why we have to use the 3 dot. This is the feature of the ES6. Next, we have the
We are
rest.
getting the same answer, then what's the use of 3 dots?
Can you repeat the question once?
As we are getting the same answer, what's the use of 3 dots, ma'am?
Actually, there is a case in which if you write the variable name of the array, you will get an array included in the array. There is one scenario. I think I can show. Just give me 1 minute. Here you will see an if I specify the array name as it is, it will give you an array in the inside another array. Okay, I will give the example of this. There is one scenario. If I write the A1 as it is, it will give an array inside that array. I will show you example by the end of this session. Next, we have the rest parameter. The rest parameter is basically used for, it is the improvised version to handle the various input or the parameters in the function. Like we have learned about the function, and if I have in the previous example I have used the sum of two numbers, so the function will work properly. I have write the document dot write and I call the sum with two values, but in some code and some part of the program I want to use the same function but with different number of arguments. What we will do, we will simply change the function definition. We will go here and write c d e, and we will add here as well c d and e. Now the function definition is changed. Now it will not work for two elements, it will get the default value. So if I want to use the same function with multiple number of arguments without changing the definition, for that case, we have the rest parameter. So I can show you the rest parameter syntax. So this is the syntax, and the previous what we are doing, we are actually indicating the number of variables by which the number of values are passing. In this, two values are passing 1 and 2, so we are writing two variables a and b. So here there's no need to write the variables a and b or c or how many variables you want to write. Just spread that array. This is the spreading. We are spreading that array. So whatever the values, we will come in the input. Input will get a new array. It is a new array now. Now it will input has the two values 1 and 2, and we are defining a variable sum is equals to 0, and we are looping through that array, and each value will be added to the sum variable. This is how we are going to get the sum. Now if I only use the 1 and 2, and we are going to see the three output. If I just see the 1 to 3, it will work for the 3 input as well. 3 plus 2 plus 1 6. If I want to change the number of arguments, we can change the number of arguments and we will get the correct output. No need to change the definition. We are just spreading all the values here, and we will take in variable, and we will just loop through that variable, and each value will be added to the sum. It is not the only case with the sum. You have to use the product of many variables. You can use the multiply sign here. You will get the product. Yes,
Is it necessary to use dots before it input?
Yes, you have to spread all the values. If there is only one value, then it is okay. But if it is multiple value, then you have to spread it.
Okay.
It will become an array. So you can loop through it array and you will get the output. I hope the rest parameter is also clear. This is all about the ES6 features. So first we have learned about the template literals, then we have seen the functions and the function expressions, then arrow functions, then where versus let, some difference between them, and then array, declaration part or methods, destructuring objects, object properties method, and last we have seen the spread and the rest parameter, rest operator also. So this is all about the ES6 part. Now we are going to see the next part of the session. I can continue or it is a bit long for today. Guru Kiran.
It's 10:15. How much time do you need more to continue all that part?
It's more 30 to 40 because it is next is asynchronous and synchronous. It also includes 4 to 5 parts.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, this is advanced. It will take some time.
Okay. Sahil, are you here? Yes, he's not here. So it can have two possibilities. Either we can continue it tomorrow, say 1 hour early than the tomorrow session. Like session starts from 9 p.m. So we can start tomorrow session at 8 p.m. Or either we can continue now itself.
Yes, sir. Today is no problem.
Today is no problem. Yeah, then let it go.
Okay.
Khushi.
Okay.
But try to keep it a little bit short.
Gurutaran, could we do one thing? Like we can use the chat to know everyone's view on it.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Take the lead and do whatsoever you want.
Guys, please reply in a yes or no if you want to continue this session or would you
Oh,
like to
there
have
is a
it?
raise hand option. Raise hand option. First, those people to raise hand who are comfortable to Yeah, Ashutosh, just wait a second. Who are comfortable to proceed with to continue with today's session, whether it goes till 11 p.m. like that.
Guptaran, are we left with a lot of content?
Yeah, around 40 to 50 minutes content.
Okay, okay. Let's then.
First of all, the people to raise hand who are ready to learn to complete today's session till 11 p.m.
I think I
Yeah, just
saw
give it a poll.
7 to 8
Guptaran,
hands.
I will.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Um. Okay. I'm thinking like it's already 10:16. Shall we continue? I'm having little. I'm little doubtful about that.
Uh, we are to are asking the audience what they want. How many
Yeah,
raise
yeah.
hands out there? I guess 9.
Okay, I can do one thing. I can explain the basic concept, and they can practice it. If they found any doubt or any problem, they can ask tomorrow if it's
Yeah, that
fine
would
for
be
them.
fine again. And okay, just a second. Let me complete my raising hand procedure and all. So first of all, Swam, please mute yourself. There's a lot of noise coming from his side. Yeah, thank you. So around 9 students raised their hands who want the session today. Okay, so now other people to raise hand who wants the session tomorrow from 8 p.m. 1 hour before the main major project session. Is there any raise hand? No. So Kushi, let it go. Just keep the session small, little bit small. And at exact 10:50 or 55, there will be the quiz time. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so we are going to see the asynchronous and synchronous part. So first, I'm going to explain this with a very basic example, and you will see the animation in the next slide. That is, you can see that in the asynchronous part, the images are loading one after another. That is, the first image will be loaded completely, then the second image starts loading. But in case of asynchronous, you can see that all the three images are going to load at one time. So from this scenario, this situation, you can find that in the synchronous part, the tasks are going to be performed one by one. You have to wait until and unless the previous task is completed. But in the asynchronous, you can perform all the tasks at a time. So this is the difference between the asynchronous and synchronous. So by default, the JavaScript is synchronous. Now, in the synchronous part, there are many disadvantages. Here we can see the three images are loading. Suppose you have to load 1,000 images at a time. What synchronous will do? It will load first image, then first image loading is completed, then the second image starts loading. So it will take a lot of time to load 1,000 images. So what we can do, we can make it as asynchronous so that all the images can load immediately. So this is the difference between the synchronous and asynchronous. So moving next, now we are going to see how can we can make a delay, or we can see that particular code should execute after a particular time. So first we are going to see the set timeout and set interval. So I'm going to close my this ES6 file and going to uh, new file, that is synchronous HTML and the JS part. Okay, so this is here we are going to start with the set timeout and set intervals. Okay, so the basic HTML and the script file is included. Now we are going to see the set timeout first and then the set interval. You will, by the name, you can understand that it will perform a particular task after a particular specified time. What actually set timeout will do, it will run a function only once after a certain interval of time. This is the time that you can see 3000. So this is the particular time after this. This is not the 3000 minute. It is millisecond, means 3 seconds. So this is the time after which the particular task will be start doing. So and what the set interval will do, it will run up that task continuously after a particular after a several interval of time. Means set timeout run function will run only once, and set interval run, it will run multiple times. So first we are going to see the set timeout. So what the set timeout, it will after the 3 seconds it will print the hello on the console. So I'm going to refresh it and you will see there's no hello, but after 3 seconds the hello is going to print. So this is how the set timeout work. Now I can change it to set interval. And you will see that this function will run repeatedly after a certain interval of time, like 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, it will run. So I'm going to refresh it. You can see after 3 seconds, it will print hello one time. After 3 seconds, it will print another. You can see the counting is increasing. 2, 3. After 3 seconds, it will increase. So this is how the set interval and set timeout works. Okay, so this is the concept of the set timeout and set interval. Next, we are going to see
Can
how.
we use the document.write here as well?
Yes, we can write. After 3 seconds, it will going to write. It is set interval, so it will after 3 seconds it will write again and again hello, hello, hello.
Okay.
Okay, it is clear. Set timeout and set interval. Next, we are going to see the callback functions. So, what actually the callback function means? We have seen the function part. What actually we are going to pass a parameter. But if we want to pass a function instead of a parameter, that function is actually called the callback function. So, we are going to see a callback function example. So this is the example. Here I have defined the function name greet, and in this the first is the parameter, that is the value, whatever when we are calling a function, the value will be given. And this callback, actually this callback is not a simple argument. You can see here I am calling a function with the greet and the value call me. So you can see the call me is a function actually. This is a function. You can see I will cut it and you will see if I. So this is how. The first is the parameter, that is the value, and second we are going to pass another function. So inside the function, greet is already a function, and inside a function we are passing a function as an argument. So this is called the callback function. I am going to write it in an easy way so that you can understand. So call me is a function, you can see here. So what actually this will do, it will call the greet with the value Khushi and call me function. So first it will go here and the name will having the value Khushi and callback will having the value as this whole function. Now what will happen? First it will print on the console part hi, the value of the name, that is Khushi, and after this part will be completed. Then the callback is called. This part is called. Why it is called? Because it is actually a function, not a parameter, so we can simply write callback. So this is calling. Actually, it is a function. That's why it is calling. Don't be confused that we can only specify the callback only. It is a callback function. No, you can use this. You can write it, store in it any variable. So this is actually a callback. This is how we are writing a callback. So we can see that actually the benefit of this callback is that until and unless this part is not completed, we cannot call this part. So we are waiting for some time to get the result. Here I am not getting any result. The synchronous programming, you will see the major advantage when you are going to fetch some data from the server. Because when we are going to fetch data from the server, it takes time because of the network speed. So here I'm printing the console.log. There's no server use, so no network speed will affect. So you can try with the fetching the data from the API server. Use the API part. You will get to know what actually asynchronous, how actually asynchronous work. So I am going to refresh it. Okay, so you cannot see any difference because there's no set timeout. So if I specify the set timeout here, so it will the function will run after the several interval of time. So you can see the first this will execute. After that, this will execute. Hi part will be first. Then I am a callback function. And repeating my line again, you will not see any difference here because we are not fetching any data from the server. You can use this with the API part. You can see that how actually asynchronous work. So this is a basic example actually how callback can be written, how callback can be called. So this is a simple. Now we are going to see some delay. Yes, Nikhil.
Ma'am, could you repeat the difference?
Between.
Like while using the API server, you are saying something.
Can you repeat the question once?
Yes, ma'am. When we will find the difference?
Okay, so you can try it with the just use the fetch method. Actually, fetch is the browser API. You can use the fetch and you can call the API. I have not have any sufficient time, so I cannot use the fetch method and show you how actually it will take time. But I can show you with the delay. You can see how delay will there, and you will see. Actually, I'm going to use the set timeout here. So set timeout will work after a particular interval time. But when you will use the fetch, when you will fetch some data from the server, it was also a delaying in some amount of time due to your network speed. So just go through any YouTube video how to use the fetch, and you can use. You will see how actually there is a time, and you will wait for some time, and then after the data will come. So we are going to see that delay in the execution, but using the set timeout. Here I am specifying the time. But in case of server fetching, the time is not defined because it depends on the network speed. Okay, Srimant.
Yes, ma'am.
I will share the resource from where you can learn the fetch part. You will see, learn it. Okay, so we are going to see the delay in execution using the set timeout. So here I am what I'm doing. Here I am calling the set timeout and the greet function. Actually, greet is this. This function will be replaced from here and will be put here. And why I'm writing in a multiple lines so that you can understand easily. You can write here as well. So that simply replace it with the function and you can simply write here. So here the greet function will be called. The greet function is this hello world, and it is the timeout 2 second. It is 2000 millisecond. That is the 2 second. And after this function, I am calling another function that is the same name. So this is, you can see the output. This function will runs after the 2 second. I will 7 second. So you can see the first line is the hello Kushi, and hello Kushi, after 7 seconds you can see the another statement that is the hello world. So you can see hello Kushi is executed first. Now you will ask why, ma'am, it is the same name as the last line after the greet. So it is waiting for, you can say it is waiting for the 7 second, and then it will execute the greet function. So until 7 seconds, the function will not wait that 7 seconds will complete, then greet function will call, then I will go to the next line. So this is actually asynchronous function, programming. And the picture also I've shown you that all the three images are loading at a time. This is also the same case. Here it is the you can see the user in this line. Just imagine a user is there. User is on this line, and user still okay. So it requires 7 seconds to execute. 7 seconds. After 7 seconds, it can execute this function. So I will not wait for 7 seconds. I have no time to wait. So I will go to the next line. Say name Kushi. So it will print the hello Kushi. After 7 seconds completed, it will greet function will be called and it will print the output. Here I am using the set timeout function to show you some delay, but it is not a real scenario. You will use set timeout. You will use the fetch or the execute because you have to work with the APIs. So this is basically used in the fetching API part, asynchronous programming. I write also example to show data coming from a server as it takes time for data to arrive due to the network speed. So I hope the callback is clear now. It will not clear until unless you will practice it with the fetch. Because here you are not seeing any difference, but in the set timeout, I think I have shown you difference. First, the hello Kushi is printing, then after 7 seconds, it is printing. It is not waiting at this line. If it has to wait, then it will work like a synchronous programming. It is actually asynchronous. I think Nikhil has some doubt. Okay. Or someone has any doubt in the callback part? Okay, no problem, Nikhil. Okay, so there's no doubt. I'm going next to part that is the promise part. Now, what actually the promise? Just to take a real life scenario that you are promising to someone. So either the promise will be fulfilled or not fulfilled. Means it will be fulfilled or rejected. You can deny it. No, I'm not going to fulfill this promise. So the same meaning here also implies that promise having a three state. The callback function, promise, and the async and await. These all three are working as the asynchronous programming. So we have to develop a asynchronous code. So we are going to see how actually we can write a asynchronous code using different techniques like the callback or the promise or the async or await. So there may be a scenario when here I am only specifying a two function, that is the greet and say name. But imagine that you have 100,000 functions, and inside one function you have called another function, then inside second function you have called the third function, then fourth function. It will create a like a hell type. So this is the drawback of the using callback. If I use multiple function inside one function, like here I call another function, and in this function, suppose this is the definition, and this will be the definition, and I am again writing another function in this function. So another function. This is the body. So I'm writing another function here. So this will create a hell. You can see that one function inside one function inside one function. So this will create a hell type. So this is the limitation. This is called the callback hell. To resolve this hell, we are going to see a more improvised version, that is the promise. Promise is also similar to the callback. Callback works for the asynchronous programming. Promise also works for the asynchronous programming. So basically, promise has the three state. When a promise is created, means you told someone that I am doing a promise. Until and unless you not complete your line, it is in the pending state. After that, it will either fulfill or it will reject. But in the JS programming, fulfilled case is right with the resolve, and rejected part is written with the reject. For example, I have written the example as well. If we are requesting data from the server by using a promise, it will return a pending mode until and unless we receive our data. And if we successfully achieve our data, then that state will be resolved, or we can say fulfilled. Or if we don't get the information, that will be the rejected case. Okay, so the same scenario will come here if for the multiple request, means multiple functions is there between inside one function. It will also called a chaining, but in this chaining can be resolved very easily using the then and catch method. So this is the syntax here. Also promise is a class already defined in the JS. So you are going to create an object of that promise using the new. As you have seen that how we are declaring the array and the object. So in the promise you have called a function. In the function, you are going to take two parameters. Basically, you can write xy here also, but I have specified in the first way of JS that always declare a variable that is meaningful. So resolve and reject is actually a meaningful variable. So all the developers are going to use resolve and reject, not xy or abcd. So this is the syntax of using the promise. Next, suppose I have a good example for you. I think this will interact you. So if you think that suppose your mother promised you that she will buy a new phone for you next week. So next week. So this time the promise is pending. You are thinking that either mom will give me or not give me. So there will be three scenarios. First, it is in the pending state because next week will start. So the mood of mom depends. Basically, if mom is happy, you will get the phone, and if mom is not happy, you will not get the phone. So I'm going to write the same code. So first, I'm declared that mother is happy, means true. Okay, so I write the function. You can write the new promise here. I can. So I write the promise, syntax is similar, new promise, and inside the promise you have to define a function, and in the function two parameters will be there, resolve or reject. You can write x5, but it should be meaningful. So we are going to resolve and reject, and inside this, either our resolve will be fulfilled or not fulfilled. Means if our mom is happy, we are going to get the phone. So I write the condition. If mom is happy, means is mom happy, I declare a variable, and the value is true. So we are getting a phone. So I define a phone object with the brand and the color. And we are going to use this resolve. And in this resolve, we are going to get a phone. It is fulfilled. But if mom is not happy, so I define a reason why rejecting. So I a meaningful message that mom is not happy, and it will throw this error. You can throw a new error also using the error class. That is also a different class. So this is how you are going to create a promise. One condition will be there will be two conditions. The if first condition is true, then it is resolved and it will throw some error. It will go into the reject part. So now I'm going to show you what actually this variable contains. So you, okay, comment out the previous one. So you can see that it is returning a promise that is fulfilled. Why it is fulfilled? Because I have specified a value true. If I write false, then see what happens. So it is getting the rejected, that is mom is not happy, and showing that error as well. So you can see that it is the pending state is going to either to the resolve state or the reject state. So now I'm going to get this phone. Now how to consume this promise, because this promise is using that it return an object, it is state is rejected and result is mom is not happy. Now I want to get that result. How this process called the consuming the process promise, or we can say that we are calling our promise. How we can call, we have to use this variable because all the promise is going to store in this variable, either the reject or resolve. So I have declared another function, and this is the part. Just ignore this, just see this part because this is the function part. Ask mom, here the function is calling and the function is defining. Just see this part, the highlighted part. Here this variable, you can see this one. Here the promise fulfilled or rejected is there. Now I have to consume this promise. We can use for consuming the promise, we can use the then or catch method. Dot then will return the, if the condition is true, means fulfill part it will return, and if it has any error or the rejected part will go inside the catch part. So then is also a function. Inside the function we are going to get the fulfilled. This fulfilled, we are specifying a value, and it will print if the promise is fulfilled. So it will console.log fulfilled, and if not, then it will print the error, whatever the error is there. So I'm going to call the function and it will go inside this, whatever they will get new phone variable value, it is going accordingly. Dot then or dot catch. So first okay, some error is there. I think something is not defined. Okay, so you can see that we are in the first stage, it is showing that promise and it is having the object, the promise, state is the rejected and result is the not happy. Now I have to consume that, means I have to get value. So I'm getting this value in the catch part. This is the error because it is rejected. Now if I change the value to true, so we will get this phone because we have specified the phone. The object is going into the resolve and it is coming inside the fulfilled, and we are printing the console.log fulfilled. You can see the object is coming. So this is how we are going to consume it. In the previous state, you can see the state is fulfilled and result is object. Something is there in the result. Now we have to consume it. You can see the meaning of consume here, that here showing something is coming in the state, but what actually the state is holding. For getting the state part, we are consuming it, means we are calling it, or we can say that we are calling that promise. So to get the data, we have to use the dot then or dot catch. So this is how the promise work. So the same scenario comes in here also. We can specify multiple then, like now you have got your phone. Now you have to show off in front of your friends. So you will specify another function after getting the phone, not before getting the phone. Until and unless you are not getting the phone, how you will show off. So this is also doing a promise chaining. So dot then again we can specify multiple dot then. So this is the promise part. So someone has any error? I think it is. I know this is going so fast. You can practice it. If you found any problem, you can ask tomorrow as well. Okay, so we are going to see next is the async and await. This is the ES6 feature. Here we are going to write the promise in a simple way using the ES6 feature. We will use the promise, but in a little bit easier way. So here I write the function. So first I have write the simple function. This is the function. Here I have to use the async and await. These are the keyword. Remember that you cannot use await until and unless the function is async. Await alone cannot be work if the function is not async. It is showing an error that could not, this is the test 2. And now it will work fine. I'm calling the function also. So it is not going to work because await is only work when the function is async. Now the function is async. Now await will work. So first I'm going to call this test1 function, means this function, and I'm printing console.log A, then B, then C, then I am awaiting it. And it will await what it will await. It will await test2, another function, and in the function I am returning a promise. You can see that promise is returning, and I am returning only the resolve part now. So it will log it. We are into test2 function. So after awaiting, it is log D and log E, and after the test1 we have three more statement. So now you will see how actually the statement will work. So you thought you are thinking that that first A will be going to print, then B, then C, then it will await test2, and it will await for 3 seconds. Then we will get output. Then we are coming back, and then we will print this. We are in test2. Then it is going to work D, then E, then first statement, then second statement, then third. No, it will not work like this. You will see that first three will be going to print. After that, it is saying that you have to await. Means this process will work after 3 seconds. This will go into the background, and it will work. In the working of this function will be going in the background, and it will come out of the function, and you will see these three statement will print. After this promise will completed, 3 seconds will be completed, then you will see that we are in the test2 function, and then D or E will be printed. So this is how async or await will going to work. So I am going to comment out the previous promise example. So you are going to see how actually it will work. So you can see ABC, first statement, second statement, then the await part is going to work, then D or E. So you can see the first here, then B, then C, then it is saying that you have to await. Then it goes to the function and say, okay, I have to wait for 3 seconds, then it will run. So why not I came out of the function and complete the other part. So it will complete the other part, then it will complete this await part, then coming here and it will print this part, then D or E. So this is how the asynchronous programming work. So that's it for the today's session. I hope you all get idea about ES6 feature and the synchronous and asynchronous. The same in the PPT also. If you have any doubt, you can ask.
I guess Kushi have covered everything. Is there any doubt? Anyone wants to ask anything, Kushi, regarding to JS?
You can practice it today. If you found any error or problem, you can ask me tomorrow as well.
I know the session was a little bit longer than estimated, but see, we didn't wanted to break the flow, so that's why we decided to continue the session. If anyone wants to ask anything, please ask. Kushi, shall we do the quiz today or tomorrow?
It's for today. I think you can ask Gurukaran. It will be fine for today or tomorrow.
Kuttaran? Hello, Kuttaran and Divakar, anyone here?
Let it be today itself.
Okay, please. Okay. Okay, then just we will start the quiz after some time. Before that, anyone have any sort of question? Because today's session was a little bit long.
So I am do a simple thing. First of all, share your screen with the quiz link and all. Yeah, everyone will be start joining the quiz with the link and the code itself. And till that, you can have the queries and the questions from the audience.
The quiz link is in the chat. Please everyone join over there. We have 28 participants over here. Let's just wait till.
So I'll start after exact 2 minutes. Then everyone is requested to join the quiz.
After group coding. Practice, Ashutosh. Everything is practice.
And if anyone has any other doubt, any sort of question, yeah, please go ahead. You can unmute yourself. Simply ask. You have 1.5 minutes.
Yes, he's asking Kushi. Kushi, Ashutosh Kumar is asking, taking suggestion from you that how to group coding.
Just by practice and practice and practice. Either it is DS and Algo or Java or any coding. You have to practice for many times.
If anyone have any other doubt, they can ask their doubt too. We'll be starting the quiz at 10:56. Is that?
Yeah, just 30 seconds are left. If
Okay,
anyone has any query, anything for the previous session.
okay, someone asked me about that spread operator. I think Srimant is there. I'm not sure about it, but someone asked me that why we can write a triple dot if it works without dot also. You can use the case of string. You will see that string is just without taking the three dots. You will see that array inside array.
And could you repeat it?
You asked that if I'm not writing the three dots in the spread operator, then also the function is working as same with these three dots. You can I have take the case of numeric value. You can take the case of string. You will see the difference. I'm going to post that code in the chat box also. You can refer that. Just write this code in the console part. You will see.
Okay. I guess we can start with the quiz now.
Okay, so everyone, all the best.
Swam, you can start. Just unshare your screen. Swam.
Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah, and mark any of the answers and simply reshare your screen at the leaderboard. Swam, please share the screen, the leaderboard.
After one question only, or after the end of all questions?
After end of all questions, you just
Yeah,
need to. Swam, please share the leaderboard.
The quiz is complete.
What are you saying?
Yeah, can remaining some questions.
Okay, do it fast. You don't need to answer the right one. You just answer like that. Whatsoever. Share the leaderboard.
Can present them to you. Can you help me with the बताएं इसके लीडर को कहाँ से शुरू होते हैं जल्दी हाँ कर ली कर ली Sorry guys, sorry for the inconvenience caused small technical issue with me on my side only. And these are the top three winners of today's quiz. First one is MVS Shrimant. Shrimant, you can unmute yourself. Congratulations, Shrimant. Second is Yo. Yo,
Yes,
can we
sir.
get your Yo, can we get your full name? Yo, are you there in the meet? Yo. I guess he's not there. And on the third, we have Aman Sharma. Congratulations, Aman Sharma. That's all. Then we have Aman Gupta, Gaurav Gautam, Ashutosh Kumar, Ashutosh Das, Kanishak, Nikhil Chhala, and Harshit. So that's all. Thank you everyone for competing with in this quiz.